Hi, welcome back to Growth Catalyst Hub. Today we are going to look at how to delegate without micromanaging. What? You already finished? I told you. No, yeah, it's a 50 slide presentation. Have you finished already? Did you use 14 font on all sides? That's the continuity. And have you put all the images as we discussed? You're sure? You followed the 3-step process that I told you to prepare for? Absolutely sure? Let me check. Yeah, give me a minute. I'll finish this video and come and check. Sure? Yeah, wait. Yeah, today we are going to look at how to delegate without micromanaging. Seriously, I've been that manager before. Yeah, checking every single step that every member of my team does. Because I was scared that people will miss the step and I will be owning up the work and I will be blamed for that. That's the reason I was micromanaging, at least some part of my career, but not anymore. Doing teamwork is like running a restaurant. You can't run one restaurant all by yourself. You need a cook, you need a front desk person, you need people to serve who are coming over there, you need people to take care of customers, and all of this cannot be done one by one person. If you try to be that one person, you're going to burn yourself out and you're going to keep the restaurant very, very small. Is that what you want to do? I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you want your business to grow bigger. I'm sure you want to bigger and better things. The only way to do it is by delegating. The only way to delegate is by getting the right team member and giving them coaching, mentoring, training so that they know exactly what you want them to do and they go ahead and do it. Delegation is not about offloading your work. Delegation is not about abrogating your work. It's not about, okay, Lelu, take it and do it and tell me when you have finished. No, not that. Effective delegation boosts productivity. It ensures that you get more things done at the same time. It ensures that you also look like a leader. And let's face it, who doesn't want to be a leader? Now let's look at what delegation does versus what micromanagement does. Let's take a comparative look. Delegation. It's all about assigning tasks to the right people, trusting them to get the work done. It's about empowerment. It allows your team to shine. When your team shines, you also shine. On the other side, micromanagement. It's all about over controlling every single task, every single decision, and every single detail. It's the opposite of empowerment. It's basically saying, I don't trust you. I will do it myself. And because I can't do it myself, I need some hands and legs, and that's all that you are. What is going to happen? Eventually, people are going to burn out. Eventually, people are going to leave. Eventually, you are going to do everything yourself. Have you submitted the report? How is the font? You better make sure that it's bold, not italicized. Did you remember the 10.5 font size that I told you to do? Or have you forgotten that? Have you checked the slide number 17 I asked you to check? Have you forgotten that? When you continuously ask people to check every single step that you want them to do, they are going to give up on you. They are going to say, okay, if this is exactly how you want things to be done, you do it yourself. That's what it is going to come to. You need to start trusting people. Otherwise, you are going to burn out. You are going to feel the weight of doing all the things and you are not going to go up in the hierarchy. Because unless you prepare people who can do your role, you can't go and do your boss's role. Remember that. All right, let's go through what delegation is step by step and how can you do that. Let's do it like a pro. One, you take a look at your to-do list. You look at two things. One, what is it that you should not be doing? What is it that only you can do? If you are a manager and you are supposed to think on the business. You are supposed to think on the strategy. You are supposed to bring clients to the table. And that is what your role is. Why are you doing all the other 1,000 things? Why are you preparing that PowerPoint report when your team can do it very well? So think about what is it that only you can do, what is your role, and also think what is it that you should not be doing at all. Prepare that list. People prepare what should I do list. Please also prepare what I should rather not do myself list. You have to got things done at the end of the day, but what are the things that you should not be doing yourself and you should get your team to do? That's the first step. Step 2, pick the right people. Many times, delegation doesn't work. Many times, people start micromanaging because you have given the job task to a person whom you know is not going to do a great job. You haven't had the time to train that person, and you are worried about the perfection or the quality of that job getting done. That's a reason many managers actually micromanage, because they are not able to trust that other person. So before you give the job to somebody, figure out whether that somebody has the capability to do it. They may not be doing a perfect job as much as you can. If you can do the job at a scale of 100, they may be doing only this to the scale of 75. That's okay. As long as you think they are capable of learning and growing on the job. If they demonstrate a capability to learn and grow, then you should, as a manager, allow them to learn and grow. Over a period of time, they will catch up and they will come to that 95, 98, and you will be able to expand your role from 100 to 110, 120. That is when you will get promoted. Remember that. Now, coming to step 3, communicate. It is not enough if you delegate your job, delegated task to a person. You might have picked the right person, you might have given the job, but you still need to set the expectation before the person starts the job as to what you want the person to do. Communicate in clear, concise terms so that the person understands. Ensure that the person has understood. Many times, communication is happening only in your head. Remember that. Communication is complete only when the other person has understood what you want them to do. So check back whether they have understood the essentials of what needs to be done, why it needs to be done, why it needs to be done within a particular time frame that you want it to be done, what is the criticality, what is going to happen after this person finishes this task, who is going to take that and carry. It's like a relay race at the end of the day. And when somebody finishes that line, somebody else is going to carry that baton and go forward to finish some other line. So only when the person understands the implication of what is going to happen after he finishes his part of the job in the company, he will be able to appreciate, oh, I need to finish within this timeline. Oh, I need to finish with this kind of quality. And when he has a complete perspective, he becomes that much more effective in doing what he needs to do. So ensure very good communication happens. Therefore, give them the tools, give them the resources, and give them the training, give them the required expertise so that they can do the job very well. If they don't have the tools, for example, if you ask them to analyze a report and they've never analyzed the report before, then you need to sit with them, teach them step by step what is analysis of a report. If you want them to go somewhere and come, you need to give them the tools necessary for that conveyance. You have to give a car, a bike, or money to go and come back. If you don't give them and equip them with the right tools, then they are going to fail. So it is necessary not only communication, not only the right person for the delegation, but after you have done the first couple of steps, you should also equip them with the right tools, right resources, right training, and set them up for success. If you don't do it, they're going to fail, and you are actually setting up them for failure. They also need to know where to tap for the resources. They also need to know which tools to use for this job. They also need to know which resources they can use and how to go about using those resources. All of this means knowledge. All of this means accessibility to these resources. All of this means good training, which should have happened even before the person is entrusted with the task. And of course, the fifth step, trust your team and wait. If you have given them the task, if you have selected the right person, if you have given the training, if you have given them the tools, resources, and how to do the task, if you have communicated everything, and still, because of fear of them not delivering, if you start managing every single step, then they are going to lose faith on you. They are going to lose trust on you. So it's important to trust your team that they will do a job. Sometimes they will fail. Sometimes that failure will hurt you. But that is part of the process of growing. And so grind your teeth, wait, trust, start trusting your team and believe in them, give them access to you. So if they have some clarity when they do something, they should be able to access to you. They should be able to check with you, which is okay. As long as they want to do it, they will be doing. So set up protocols in terms of, okay, check with me in case you have any clarification to do and so on. But trust them and convey the trust. They should be able to believe that you trust them. It's not enough if you say that, yeah, I trust you. No, people can see through it. So you need to trust them implicitly, and they should also be able to touch and feel the trust that you are placing on them so that they feel empowered, boldened, and they go ahead and do the job. But let's face it, it's not going to happen smoothly from day one. People are going to fail. People are not going to deliver to the quality that you expected. That's bound to happen because they are learning on the job, because when they deliver, they might have not been as skilled as you expect them to be skilled. Irrespective of how well you have chosen the person, there can always be gaps. And therefore, you will be disappointed at some level. You will be very, very tempted to put your hand in and do that job for them. Don't. Wait. Because when you start doing that, you are going to completely dismantle all the trust that you have built so far. So be prepared for some failures, be prepared for some lack of quality of work, be prepared for some level of disappointment. That is going to happen. And that's part of the process. Remember, trust is very hard to build. It's not built in a day. It takes very, very long time to build, very, very long time to understand each other. When you say something, when you communicate something, irrespective of how many checks and balances you have put in terms of checking back with a person, that the person has understood everything that you have said, two things happen. One, we are not as articulate as we think we are. We are not able to explicitly tell every single step. We sometimes miss out on key steps ourselves, even when we communicate. And what is obvious to us may not necessarily be obvious to the person who is doing it. And that happens. And that happens more often than what we think it will happen. The second, the person who is receiving your communication thinks she has understood, but she may not have understood everything. And a lot of time, we don't necessarily know what we have not understood. It looks okay till the time we start doing it. Only when we start doing the task, do we realize that we have not understood that third step. We are not really clear about that seventh step and so on and so forth. And that is when the team should be allowed to check back with you. If you get irritated that, I've told you everything, why are you checking back with me for every single thing? They will stop checking back with you and they will come back with a half-baked quality of work, which will hurt you again. So it's a fine balance that you need to create. You should trust the team, fully expecting that they may want more clarification as and when they start doing it, as and when they start realizing that they have not really understood some parts of what they need to do. You should create that accessibility, and you should also stay away from the temptation of doing everything yourself. So go ahead, delegate to elevate, ensure that your team is set up for success, ensure that you train them, mentor them, coach them so that they have all the knowledge that they need to do the task, and They have access to the resources to do the job very well. Set them up for success, give them accessibility, and trust them so that they do a great job. Please like the channel, subscribe to it for more tips on leadership, management, and delegation. See you in our next episode.